How's it hanging, Phil?
From the front time,
come and get it! So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. So, welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge, and let's talk horror. So, guys, we have a lot to unpack in episode 5. Man, that was an episode. That's all I can say at this moment is that was an episode, man. Not my favorite of the season so far, but it's up there. It is up there. Thank you, Charles. 18 months. That's incredible. I'm glad somebody likes us long enough or good enough to be a member for that long, man. Thank you. It's appreciated. And, man, thank you. So I can't join, but I'll be catching up soon. Hey, man, thank you. And like I said, man, it means so much when you guys do stuff like that. It really helps the channel. So thank you very much for always being a part of this and helping the channel with your super chats. Seriously, we appreciate it. And you know what that means, guys. Thank you, man, for real. Thank you guys so much. What is up, Ashton? What is up, Jerry? Hey, Terrell. So I can be around the whole time. I've got 20 minutes left to 4, then I'll watch 5. Oh, nice. Yeah, this one was really, really good. And this one was like an emotional roller coaster, man. Like, man. Like, and is trying to, like, wrap my head around everything that happened in this episode tonight. It was, there's a lot to discuss right now. Like, you know, starting off, like, right at the top, I'm trying to let some more people come in, just so we, you know, I don't want to, you know, freak, you know, like, go a little too early. What is up, Gory? But there is a lot I want to talk about. And I mean a lot that I want to talk about. It's getting everything loaded up here right now so we can actually start discussing. The opening. What an amazing emotional performance we got from Marge at the beginning of this episode. I just felt like she was sincere. You know, we've spent this whole season so far really hating Marge and the decisions that she makes, but she really, really had an emotional performance and seemed like a genuine person for a little bit, and you know, we're not used to that with her. What is up, DJ Plays the Favorites? How you doing? I'm literally right. Oh yeah. Like I said, she has a very emotional performance at the beginning of this episode. Now look, Connor, I love having you here, man. You know I love you. You know you're my dude. But I'm about to spoil something really big. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to jump out here. Because it goes right from Marge's emotional performance to something else. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Maddie's not dead. Like, we see Maddie and we're like, Maddie is back. And I even wrote, Maddie is back. But then I also put, I got a bad feeling about this. I got a bad feeling about this, So I had a feeling, like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, I got a bad feeling. I agree. This was a very great episode. Cody, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We could talk everything about the episode. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely watch the replay, though. Definitely appreciate that. So Leroy is finally filled in on what's going on. No, this is spoiler. We are spoiling this episode. So if you haven't seen it, you've had fair warning. This is a spoiler discussion. So, yeah. Yes, it is, man. That's one of my favorite scenes of the whole episode. We'll get into that because Halloran's one of my favorite characters so far. As someone who's a really big fan of The Shining and an even bigger fan of Dr. Sleep, very big on Dick Halloran. Love seeing Dick in here. So what they're trying to do here is they're going to reduce the size of the cage, so to speak, for Pennywise, for it. They're going to try to shrink its area so that way we can capture him. Put him in a small enough cage to where they can try to control him. Man, and I'm very excited to see what comes of that throughout the episode. But I don't care if Maddie was alive. I don't care if it was Pennywise. He was there in physical form. We did see Maddie. And I really felt like we were going to have something positive with Maddie. And when he's given the story, like the brutal story, it ate its brains right in front of me. And it ripped off her arm. And she just laid there and bleed to death. And it was just like, ugh. Man, like you really feel at this moment, like, what is going on? Oh, yeah. The guy who dies in Shawshank? Oh, of course. Love the Shawshank Redemption. Yes, there will be a best and worst that will be released in the first 2 weeks of January. Our top 10 worst of 2025 and our top 10 favorites of 2025 will be our first two top 10 videos of 2026. Just in case there's something that joins the list in December. We've got Five Nights at Freddy's Part 2. We've got Silent Night, Deadly Night. So there are movies that could make their way into it. So what is up, Jerry? Which Pennywise do you like better? Okay, this is a hard question because to me they're so different. I am going to say Tim Curry's is my favorite, and the reason why is because I feel like he's scarier. Like, Skarsgård's Pennywise is just scary. Like, he's terrifying, he's brutal. But Tim Curry's looks like a kind and sweet clown that you would want to approach and have, make a balloon animal for you. Skarsgård's does not do that. The minute I saw Skarsgård's, I'd be like, bye. Like, that thing's scary as hell. Curry's is more approachable, which I feel is more like the John Wayne Gacy influence, beautiful clown on the outside, true monster on the inside. So that's what I like about that. Someone got a membership. I don't know who it was because StreamYard doesn't tell you, but thank you, Jerry, for doing that very, very much. Exactly, DJ. Cody. So Cody got it. Awesome. I don't know which Cody, but I hope you enjoy your membership, Cody. Other kids. Maddie says Phil is still down there. This is a moment where you're like, oh shit, Maddie's here, and he's telling us that Phil's still down there, and what's happening to Phil, and sorry, with all the scary shit that's already happening, it's just like, what the hell can we do here? Like, what, we got to go down there. We got to help him. And they're telling Maddie, like, we got to go to the cops. And he's like, no cops. I ran away once. I'll do it again. I'd rather go down to that sewer than go back to my dad. And that, as a father, I was like, oh, like, holy shit, this dad must suck. Like, to have that. So, apparently, it shits. Yeah. Now, you guys got to learn that, too. It poops. I could have went my whole life without knowing that. I didn't need to know that. Awesome. So it was you, Cody. I'm glad that you get it. We have a members-only playlist. You can watch all our members-only videos there. We'll be releasing a brand new member video tomorrow, which will be a review of the movie Manor of Darkness, which is coming out. That review will be up tomorrow for members. So check out our members-only playlist. See some things maybe that you've missed out on. We try to release 2 or 3 member videos a week as well, just special things for you guys to check out. So I hope you enjoy it. Jerry, you're the man. So was the cop at the door hitting? I think so. And we'll get into that in just a second. It poops is where I was at, but yeah. If I had to hear it, so did you. Rose tells Francis that you can't control this thing. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what you see, but you can't. You cannot do that. And this is a nice moment until Francis lies to her. He's like, "Your boy dropped dime. Daniel told us everything." She's like, "No, he didn't." And he's like, "The house on Nebold Street." And she's like, "Well, if that's the case, oh, I'm so sorry, guys." Ugh. She's like, "I'm going to give you something to take with you." And she gives him the piece of the shard from the comet or the meteor that dropped. And she says, "Only Daniel can use this, because he's responsible and he won't let anything happen to this shard." So she gives it to him so that way he can use it that way for protection on all of them. Leroy obviously is pissed off now because you brought us into a trap. You brought me here knowing this monster was here, and I have to save my family. I'm still a father, I'm still a husband, and I have to save them. So he takes Will to the base, and Will's like, "Dad, I need to be with my friends." And he's like, "No, not now. Like, this is not the time. You're coming with me, and you're going to be with me." That's just how it is. See, and it obviously was first, but yes, there's definitely similarities between the Creeper and Pennywise. Yeah, I know. And it's one of those things where I'm not trying to. It's just been a crazy last couple days. My son's football team made the state championship. We play on Friday in Detroit at Ford Field where the Lions play. And it's been a crazy weekend with all that happening. They won the semifinals yesterday. And not much sleep for me. I'm one of those dads that is very involved. Haven't slept in the last couple of days because I was so anxious about the game. So, yeah. So Leroy takes Will to the base with him in hopes of keeping him safe. And then we go back to the Kirsches, the Kirsch family. And I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop with the Kirsches, Obviously, the husband's a dick. "Where's my steak? You better not overcook it this time." Like, you motherfucker. I keep waiting, because as we all know, the Kirsch family is, if you've seen the other movie, you know what time it is with the Kirsch family. The Shawshank bus crashed, and now Hank is missing. There are some casualties. Some people did die, but we find out that the Shawshank bus has crashed. Hank has fled. So take that for what you will. Maybe we'll see him again this episode. Maybe we won't. We're not sure at this point. What is up, Eli? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm very, very proud. He worked his ass off to get to where he's at. Please do that, guys. Do I think Pennywise caused it? Yes, 100%. Either Pennywise or we're going to get some more into the racist stuff next week, unfortunately, but something. So the Kirsch family, if you have seen the It 2019, Mrs. Kirsch is the old lady, or in It 1990, the old lady that Beverly goes to see, that's Mrs. Kirsch, which is obviously at that point Pennywise in disguise, but the Kirsch family really did something. And her dad, or her grandpa, I think it was Bob Kirsch, the original form of Pennywise. Where Pennywise took his influence from was Bob Kirsch, who was also played by Bill Skarsgård. In human form, that's who the form that Pennywise adopted for the clown. So the Kirsch family is very important to the lore of Pennywise. Yes, he's very excited. Yes, we are going to do a top 10 Christmas movies ranking. That is going to be, usually we do a Christmas movie review. That's going to be our thing this year. Oh, I'm yawning all of a sudden, guys. I haven't yawned all damn day, and now I can't stop. I'm so sorry. That's so rude. Seeing the Nebold house never gets old. I love the Nebold house. I think the Neibold house is just incredible. I love seeing the house. Like I said, I never get bored of seeing it. The kids are going to go back to the sewer, and we just find out that Will ran away and joined them. He was talking to his mom, and he was going to be like, I love you, Mom. Yeah, I'm just going to go walk around the base, try to learn some things since I'm stuck here. He ends up, going and joining his friends. And at this point, he doesn't know that we're going to hunt for Pennywise yet. He doesn't know they're going to the sewer. What's up, Bobcat? I really enjoyed the lore they are exploring in the show, like the augury and shredding aspect that pollutes the water supply. Do you know if the latter edition was part of the books? I don't. I have not read the novel. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I would love to. I wasn't much of a reader growing up, but I have, since started reading a lot more, and it's something that I would really like to dive into the book and actually get, maybe then I could have a better understanding of the book as well. So I would not mind diving into the book and getting like a deep dive into the history of Pennywise and the history of, the real history of it in the books. So, oh yeah, absolutely. Pennywise thinks he's untouchable. He's the eater of worlds. He's not scared of nothing. So I really think he would attack Will on the base. Of course I do. If he can reach that far. Remember, he is kind of contained. So I don't know if he can reach that far is the issue. So the military is going into the sewer under the Neibold house. Halloran goes under the water and comes up in a bathtub. And at this point, I'm thinking, and I even wrote it here, I need to know if his grandma is really trying to help him or if it's part of its plan. Because it really seems like every time he sees his grandma, she's genuinely doing what she can to help him. She's genuinely trying to steer him in the right direction. Don't go down there. Don't think about that. Don't do this. It's coming after you. Like, she really feels like she's trying to help. And I love that aspect of it, of having someone that mentally can combat Pennywise. That to me is something that's just so rad, because we've never seen, obviously with the kids, we've seen them fight Pennywise. We've seen that, but we've never seen anybody truly try to combat him mentally. We've never had any type of crossover or anything like that to where we could actually say, hey, Pennywise has met his match here. We've never had that type of story. So to see this, and vice versa, we have not seen Dick Halloran the way that he is right now, the way he's feeling so vulnerable and so scared for what's going on around him. We see in a preview for an upcoming episode, he's like, that thing got in my fucking head and I can't get it out of my head now. And he's scared. Like, he's really, really scared. And that is a scary moment for him, because where's he going to go? What's he going to do? It's one of those things where I feel sad for him, because I don't know if they would have the balls to kill Halloran in the show, obviously with this being a crossover to what's going to be happening with The Shining and all that. So I don't know if they would have the balls to actually kill him off. But if they did, that would be a crazy way to go about it. And I think that it could do that. I really think that's something they could do here. And when you have the grandpa, like the grandpa comes in, we kind of cut here, but we see the grandpa and like, oh shit, this is not going to be good. He's got this 6-shooter in his hip, and he's ready. They have one part here where it's like, the hands come out and it says, I want you. And it comes on, it's Uncle Sam, and it looks so corny. Like, it's so corny. I hate the CGI they do. Great idea. Love the idea. Hate the execution of it. New to the chat, do you know the link between Halloran seeing Ghost and his box being opened? I know that his box being opened is going to unleash all the things that he was trying to hold in. Everything that had scared him. So now Pennywise has the ability to use Halloran's thoughts against him. And like I was saying a little bit ago, this isn't something that Halloran is used to either. Now Halloran's used to going into people's minds and controlling people's minds and reading what they say. Now his box is opened, And Pennywise has gotten in there to see his fear. So I'm very excited to see the direction they're going to go with that. I think they really did a good job setting up. Oh, I did read that. I kept going back and forth on whether it was actually Maddie or not. The only thing that made me think it wasn't Maddie, and I'm going to talk about it more in depth in a minute, is his skin color and how he acted in the sewer. Those are the two things that I'll talk about. What do you think is in the box? Yeah, I think it is. Like, if you remember, in Dr. Sleep especially, they're trying to open boxes, and Rose the Hat's like, did you really think this was going to work on me? So I think it's that. What's up, buddy? I hope you enjoy it. That's what I'm saying. Holy shit, that could be incredible. Incredible. So Maddie does take them to the sewer. He's like, I'm not doing it. And they're like, you said you'd rather go to the sewer, so it's either that or we drag you to the cops. And he's like, all right, sewer it is. Taniel, when they're down there, he runs away from the military, and they start shooting at him. Like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You're making a huge mistake. And Taniel drops the piece of the meteor. Remember earlier, if you want to rewind to past Ken, he said that Taniel was super trusting, and that's why they gave him the shard. Go back and laugh at past Ken and be like, Ken, you're a fucking idiot. We knew Taniel was going to fuck this up. And then this is where it cuts back. We see that Pennywise is actually the one that took the form of Halloran's grandpa. So grandma's there, but so is Pennywise. And Pennywise is like, open the box. And he's like fiddling around on top of the box. And he's like, I'm not opening the box. So he takes the 6-shooter out and he shoots grandma in the leg. He's like, then I'll open it. And he opens the box, and Halloran, all his fears come rushing back into him. And the way that they shot that, and again, I could be off base. When I'm saying that all his fears went back into him, that's just my interpretation of what's happening here. This is a way for Pennywise now to be able to read Halloran's fear and use Halloran's fear against him like nobody else has been able to do so far. That's why it was so important for Pennywise to be able to use these fears. Because when he first saw him, when Halloran first went into its head, he was like, who are you? Like he wanted that power right away. He saw him in his brain, and he was like, me and you are going to have some fun, man. I knew once the meds didn't affect him. That's a big part of it. I don't think so. I really don't think they will. Especially with Welcome to Derry being the hit it is. It's already gotten 3 seasons confirmed. I don't think they'll do another movie. Being full of light. See, I don't think that it's deadlights that's in the box. I think that it's his fear. And I think that Pennywise or it wants to use his fear against him. And if it's able to do that, look the fuck out. Because then, like was started earlier, and like you say here, it could use Halloran. And if it uses Halloran, good fucking luck, everybody. What's up, Cam? How you doing, young man? Nice to see you. Okay, so this is what we were just about to talk about. The kids are going to take their mom's pill. What is her name? I can't remember. Lily. Lily's mom had those pills that are like anti-anxiety, and so they won't feel fear. So they take a shitload of them and they start tripping balls in the sewer. Like they're all like trip. I was like, oh no, like fuck, that's not good. So they're all tripping balls in the sewer, and not like in a laughy way, but in like a downer way where they're like, whoa, I'm going really slow, and your hands are soft, and they're definitely tripping out at this point. And they find the bodies. Oh, I'm sorry. First, it takes the form of Charlotte and is running to Leroy. Like, Leroy, we need to get out of here. And his partner, Paulie, is like, what are you talking about? There's no one there. There's no one there. And that's when Leroy realizes it and shoots. Boom! Shoots Charlotte in the head. And she's laying there, and it still looks like Charlotte, then does with the Pennywise buck teeth and chases them out. And there was a funny moment here that Chloe laughed at when Leroy's talking to Paulie, and he's like, if you see something down here that doesn't look like it should be here, shoot it. I don't care if it's an ex-girlfriend, if it's a gym teacher, shoot it. You understand it? Paulie's like, shoot my gym teacher. I get it. And me and Chloe both thought that part was pretty funny. So I did like that. That would be pretty funny. Him fighting the turtle. I'm doing good. Yeah, of course. What do you need help with? Anything I can help you with, Cam? Do you think Richie's mother is Marge? Possibly. Very possibly. Yeah. Very bad. Very bad CGI still. Wonder if the CGI is sometimes feeling undercooked because the show was meant to debut next year. See, I want to think that, but even the movie's CGI was really bad. Look, I love Andy and Barb Muschietti, and I think they do an amazing job, but they need someone to tell them, slow down on your CGI or spend a shitload more money to make it semi-believable, because it looks bad. And the show's worse than the movies was. So now the kids are running. Now, when I say that I didn't believe it was Maddie, the two things I didn't, the pills had no effect on Maddie. That, again, was a big reason. And the other is his skin never came to this color. It was gray. It was always gray. And that to me is like, he's dead. You know, that's why he hasn't, you know, regained natural color, because he's just this really drowned light gray color. See the CGI in The Flash. I'd never seen The Flash. Are any of the kids from It born yet and welcome to Derry? No. But Will, the young boy Will, is Mike's dad from It. Mike Hanlon, Will Hanlon, that's his dad. Obviously the sheriff, Bowers, is Henry Bowers' dad or grandpa, one of the two. So I heard they did that on purpose on the show, the adults still their children, which it could be. That could be a huge reason why, Bobby. How to be confident enough to do reviews on movies that I see and talk about them instead on YouTube. I'm nervous. Oh, man. How about this, Cam? Tomorrow, I'm going to have Gigi give you my phone number. And tomorrow when I get out of work, me and you can FaceTime and we can have a real conversation. I'm nervous, but I really want to do it because a whole bunch of kids make fun of me. Here's the thing, bud. For every one kid that doesn't like you, and I'm sorry, Gigi, I'm sorry, Mom, fuck them, bud. You're a great kid. In high school, in junior high, I got laughed at a lot. I was a punk rock horror kid in a very, very country school, and people didn't understand me, so their way to get around that was to make fun of me and bully me. Anything that I can do to help you, Cam, like I said, I'll have Gigi give you my phone number. I will call you anytime you want. My phone is always on. You can always call me if you ever feel like you're upset or sad or need advice. You can come to the house. I'll show you the studio. I'll show you how we work here, and I'll give you all the confidence you need to be amazing, because you already are amazing. All I can do is help you discover your confidence. There's nothing I can tell you that you don't already have inside you, bud. And I have all the faith in the world that you could be an amazing YouTuber. So anything I can do to help you, I will absolutely do it. Well, hello, Troy. Thank you for popping in and saying hello to the Hammerheads. Has a real love of digital effects for all the scary scenes. Yes, the practical stuff they did, even in this episode at the end that we'll talk about, way better. So do I. Because we know that obviously he's going to go back, he'd die for 27 years. I noticed when it told Will that he will burn the last episode, it's revealed, yes. That was crazy. That's a crazy, I love that. I love when they do stuff like that, because we already know. So to see it happen like that is always really cool. To see that actually go down like that. All right. So this is where they find the dead bodies of all the kids. Hold on. Before we do that, Wednesday, Stranger Things comes out at 8 Eastern. The first 4 episodes. Our review of the first 4 episodes will be out at 1 a.m. Eastern. We're going to watch them, review them, upload it. So the review will be up right after. Yeah, of course. We are always there for you, son. Always, no matter what. So when they're in the sewer, they start seeing the dead bodies of the kids. And you see, because one of the kids, Maddie told him was still alive, Phil. So they see all the kids, they see Phil, and then they turn and they see Maddie. And they're like, that's Maddie. And then they turn back to Maddie, and he's spinning around on like a pole and doing the... All of the tunnels are underground. And he's singing that song, and then he turns into Pennywise. So I even put it in all caps. Oh, you can't see. Pennywise. Like, we finally have the clown. Which I'm super excited. I know a lot of people are like, it doesn't matter. It is it. Which is true. But guys, I love this fucking clown so much. So as this happens, the kids run away. And Leroy hears Will, and he turns and he trains his gun on him because he thinks that it's the clown. And this is where he goes to shoot, and Paulie jumps in front. Paulie's like, wait, I see him too. This is real. This is real. And he jumps in front, and Paulie gets shot, and Paulie dies. And this is a really sad moment because I was rooting for him because Rudy Mancuso, I loved him when he was doing Vine. Like, I was always a big fan of Rudy Mancuso, and to see him grow like he has, kind of like King Batch, to watch them grow like they have from being kids doing Vine to like doing film, like that's incredible. Like, I really think it's incredible, and so I was rooting for him, and to see him die in this moment, I was like, damn it! Like, I really, really liked him. Lily gets left behind. This is where we finally get like a Pennywise one-on-one with one of the kids. And this is this scene in the trailer where he's like, you brought all your friends here, or you brought them all to me because you're such a good friend. But then it finishes, and he says, but you're such a bad daughter. And it's Pickle Dad at this moment. And he charges at her, but he stops. And it's Pennywise again. And his mouth is agape and shitty-looking CGI. There's something glowing in the water. The shard that Taniel had dropped is right here. This is the spot where Taniel had dropped it. And so she picks it up. Pennywise is like, okay, bye. And he takes off because now she has the shard, which we'll learn more about next week. Well, Mrs. Kirsch, she leaves her house. She's getting ready to go, and she's fixing her mirrors, and bam, Hank Grogan's in the back seat. He's like, be quiet, just drive. They drive off to the woods. They get out. They start hugging. Mrs. Kirsch is the married white woman that Hank Grogan was sleeping with the night of the theater massacre. So we find that out. And to end this episode, we find out that Halloran makes it out of the sewer, but his box is left open. And in the preview for next week, it looks like Hank Grogan is being hid in the area where Halloran and his friends got, where the military put them in. And we already seen from the trailer the place is ablaze with the guys with their guns trained on it. So we're going to get more of the racist bullshit here. Burning down that whole barrack, and looks like next week's going to be a very, very heavy episode all around Halloran, which I'm in. I'm in like sin. I'm so ready for it. So before we get to our final questions, let's catch up on the chat. Around the show will decline substantially because of Stranger Things, which, while not in similar terms, I don't think so, because I think people know that this is Stranger Things' final season, and this is Welcome to Derry's first out of 3. So I think that if it would be a weekly thing on Sunday, yes. But with them releasing 4 episodes, the final episode, I think most people are going to ingest the episodes the minute they come out. I see a lot of people watching all 4 Stranger Things episodes on Wednesday night the way Ashley and I are gonna. We're going to watch them all, we're going to record our review, and we're going to go. Like, we are going to do it right then. Yes, I did like the Pennywise review. Of course you do, because this shirt is the shit. I got to go Skarsgård. After everything I've seen him do here, like, this entity is fucked. Fucked. At first I thought it stopped because of the turtle necklace. So, yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I thought that maybe somebody had come up and stabbed him or something, or like someone jumped in the way really. I had no clue. But then when I saw the glowing water, Chloe was like, deadlights. I was like, no, it's the shard. And for once, I was right. That felt nice. Yes. Udo Kier passed away today. Very big German actor. Been in a lot of movies. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. When the dad who escaped from prison told Mrs. Kirsch, oh, it's Leroy's wife, Charlotte. Remember, she came to the police station to help him. And so he was talking about Charlotte. She's going to be the one to try to, give them a place to hide. Thoughts on Jason Lives? A lot of people like that movie. Jason Lives would probably be second or third in my favorite list. I think it's a phenomenal movie. My favorite, as everybody knows, my favorite is Jason Goes to Hell, and I catch a lot of shit for that, which I'm fine with. That's fine. But number 2 would probably be either Jason Lives or Friday the 13th Part 3. I love that one too. That'll always have a special place for me, so it'd be one of them. It was a joy to see Bill in his role again, even if it was brief. He hasn't missed a beat, and you can oh yeah, he's so excited to be back, and you can tell. I do see that next week we're going to get some of him in the Bob Kirsch form, in the human form, so I'm excited to see some of that backstory explored a little bit, because we know that one of the seasons is going to go all the way back to the festival, to the fair, so we're going to actually see a lot more Bob Kirsch than Pennywise, so I'm excited for that too. So overall, I'd say this episode's a solid 3.5 out of 5. It left me wanting more, and that's what I want with a TV show like this. It made me excited for next week, so I'm very excited to see where we go from here, what direction we're going to head in. And for me, like I said, I love Halloran. I think that he's a very strong hero, so to see him getting some flowers in this show is nice, because in The Shining, he didn't last long, and then in Dr. Sleep, his role, even though it was minor, was a huge role. So it's always nice to see him back in action and actually getting a full story. So I think that's incredible. So Tuesday, guys, 2 days from now, Ashley and I are going to be doing horror movie trivia once again. Let me turn this background off for a second, because I want you guys to know this. All right, none. So Tuesday, we are going to do horror movie trivia once again. And the winner is going to get a prize box from Sledgehammer Horror. So Tuesday at 7 p.m., there's going to be 2 Blu-rays in this prize box. One being Never Hike in the Snow. You will get a copy of Never Hike in the Snow, as well as a still closed copy of Time's Up. And one cool thing about Time's Up, there's a certain guy who has a small role in this movie. So I think it's really cool that, and it's not, I don't want to spoil anything, but when you watch Time's Up, you will see yours truly in there. So I can always say I was in a movie with Felissa Rose and Hannah Fierman. So this is awesome. So Tuesday, we will be doing a trivia contest, and the winner will be getting a prize box containing those 2 Blu-rays and some other things. So, if they don't do more seasons, I hope the last episode is Georgie running down the road with his boat. Well, we know we got 3 seasons for sure, and they all go back in time. So it'll eventually, we'll get, they kind of foreshadowed that mafia shooting on the streets. That will be in an episode, and then, or in a season. And then the carnival that they teased, that will be in a season as well. So they're kind of letting people in on what's going to be happening in these upcoming seasons, which again, I think is really rad. It's really cool that they're going all out and being like, hey, these are some of the things that we're going to show you guys in the upcoming episodes of this. So, do people do fan films to get around copyright? And if you were given money, what fan film would you like to do? I think people do fan films more because their love of those franchises. Honestly, I think that's the big thing. And that's why I love fan films, because they're not doing it for money. They're doing it for their love, and you know that they're doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it because they want to make an amazing chapter in whatever they're doing. And if I was going to do a fan film, obviously Child's Play is an answer. That would be... that would come right to my head, with Child's Play being my favorite horror franchise. But it would be Evil Dead, because I've already written an Evil Dead fan film, and it takes place, little wink here, 27 years after the events of Evil Dead 2, where Ash had never come back. He died when he went back to the past in this fan fiction version. And Professor Nobi's son goes to the cabin to try to figure out what happened. We never saw what happened to Professor Nobi. We saw the spirit, we saw the head of him or whatever, but we never actually saw what happened to Professor Nobi. So I have written a fan film where he's a college professor, just like his dad, 27 years after the events of Evil Dead 2, and he's trying to find every version of the Necronomicon so he can put them together and finally end the curse and figure out what happened to his mom and dad and sister. So, it's one I've already written. So if I had the money and the budget to be able to actually do something, I would do it with that, because I'm a very big Evil Dead fan and a very big Evil Dead 2 fan. So I'm glad you liked it. I did like it as well. I hope you enjoy the membership, Cody. I hope you go through and watch some of the videos. Blair Witch or Hell House. Those are very good choices. What would I like to do with a Child's Play film? I would like to give Andy a proper send-off. I would pick up after the events of Child's Play 3. A couple years after Child's Play 3. That way I could have De Silva, Tyler, Andy all together going through, their stuff. So that's something that I think I would do. If I was going to do a Child's Play fan film, I'd pick up right after Child's Play 3 because that's my favorite in that franchise. What's up, Tay-Tub? I thought it was great, too. So just a quick recap of the things that I liked a lot. I loved Marge's emotional performance at the beginning. I loved... A lot of it was just talking. Seeing the house. I love seeing the Neibold house. For sure. Everything going on with Halloran and Pennywise, I think, is just so amazing. So damn good. I loved when they found all the dead bodies and Maddie turned into Pennywise. That was such a fucking cool part of the episode. And then seeing at the end that Halloran's box is open, that was powerful. The only thing I really didn't like about this episode was the CGI. I thought the Uncle Sam thing, great idea, obviously with the military. I want you, and he just looked like shit. And I want to know what happened to Daniel because I like Daniel. I think he's great. So my son was in the movie that we made. So not much of an actor, not really his cup of tea, more of an athlete, but he's incredible. Are any of the kids? I'm wondering, if they're Bev's parents, that could definitely happen. That one scene gave me smile vibes with it. Yeah, totally. When she did the smile with the buck teeth, absolutely. Me too. I'd rather see shitty practical effects than shitty CGI. Just me personally. But thank you guys again for joining me to talk about Welcome to Derry. As always, this will happen again next week. We love to do this. We love, Ashley wishes she could be here. She's had to work the last couple Sundays. She might be here next Sunday. I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping she will be, so that way she can talk about it too. I know that she wants to talk to you guys about this stuff too. And like I said, don't forget this Thursday, technically Friday, 1 a.m, our Stranger Things review will be live. So I'm very excited for you guys to see that. Don't forget to join us Tuesday for your chance to win some Blu-rays and some cool little knickknacks from Sledgehammer Horror. All you gotta do is guess some trivia questions, and you win. Email us your address. We'll send you out your stuff. So if you haven't already, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Those links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror, stay what you are, and we'll see you guys soon.